Day 9 of my New Zealand trip began in Glynis's daughter Hillary's home in Auckland. At 8 a.m. sharp, the TV was switched on for the World Cup rugby tournament. New Zealand was playing Italy. I was intrigued by the beginning of the match. At the beginning of every game, the New Zealand team performs a haka. A haka is a Maori traditional war dance and called a battle. The Maori people are the original inhabitants of New Zealand. During a program I attended on Maori culture, a haka dance was demonstrated. The fearsome haka was how the New Zealand team started the World Cup game against their opponents, the Italians. It seemed to work with a score of New Zealand 96, Italy 17. After the game, driving alone for the first time, I headed from Auckland to Rotorua. For the next 2 weeks, it will be just Nellie and me. I stopped for the night at a Motor Caravan Association park. In New Zealand, camper vans are called caravans. That was the night I attended the evening of Maori culture. It began in the forest with Maori warriors paddling upstream in their hand-carved canoe. A delicious dinner of chicken, pork, white and sweet potatoes, salad, and crab gravy was enjoyed. Then, a 1-hour program of dance, music, and stories followed. For a 4-minute video of the whole evening, click on the link at the end of this video or on the link below. On day 10, I drove Nellie from Rotorua to Taupo. There I joined up with Glynis and David again for a grand reunion with Ann Riddle Lone and her husband Richard. All 5 of us headed to Craters of the Moon National Park. There's a lot of geothermal activity in the area. The numerous steam vents which can be seen are constantly shifting, collapsing, and reforming, giving the area a desolate look and a smell of sulfur. Most of the steam vents were quiet. However, one of them made sure it caught our attention. The park is well maintained, and it was fun walking on the boardwalk as we visited with each other. One of the attractions in Taupo is Lake Taupo. With a surface area of 234 square miles, it is the largest lake in the country. Walking along the lake, we found one of the attractions is trying to hit a hole-in-one on a floating golf green out in the lake. This man got close with his dozen golf balls, but did not win the $10,000 prize on this occasion. After lunch, we visited Huka Falls, another area attraction. Huka Falls is a part of the Waikato River which flows out of Lake Taupo. With a water flow of 220 cubic meters a second, it is one of the largest waterfalls in the world. If my math is right, its 58,000 gallons per second compares favorably with Niagara's 76,000 gallons per second of the combined water flow of the American and Canadian falls together. It seems that it would surpass either one of them individually. I was surprised to see an excursion boat getting pretty close to the falls. However, I guess it was a part of the thrill, since it did it again and again. I'm sure the people on the boat got quite wet. On day 11, I drove from Taupo to Wellington, where you catch the ferry to go from the North Island to the South Island. I decided to spend day 12 in the car park in Wellington to catch up on my video editing, do some laundry, plan out the travel for the next few days and explore the area on foot. I found this interesting sign in many places advertising laundromats. I Googled for the meaning and did not find much help. So I'm guessing that as an ad it means you better stop and wash your clothes so you won't have to go without. Perhaps someone on YouTube can enlighten me. Day 13 was for the ferry crossing from the North Island to the South Island. I booked my crossing on the Blue Bridge ferry months ahead of time. I was impressed with how many huge trucks, camper vans, and vehicles the ferry could take on. As we headed away from Wellington and the South Island of New Zealand, I felt fortunate for a perfectly beautiful day for the crossing. I love boats and I love water. Yes, it was a perfect day. I spent a good part of the 4-hour crossing watching the river and other boats. The ferry was pitching quite a bit, which was a problem for many, but did not bother me. We passed our sister Blue Ridge Ferry cruising to the North Island. Also passing by was the competitor Inter-Island Ferry. Approaching the South Island, our ferry took us past a number of islands and alongside the mainland to the destination port of Picton. Our captain had to turn us completely around in order to back into the Picton ferry dock. Once off the ferry, Nellie headed further south to the town of Nelson for the night. Day 13 was noteworthy because it was the first day since arriving in New Zealand that it had not rained at all.